as a Brooklyn Net. And to top it off, Royce O'Neal scored on a tip-in with 0.7 seconds left to complete a triple-double and give the Nets a 109-107 win against the Portland Trail Blazers on Thursday night. Welcome back. We've got Kendrick Perkins in the house with us. All right, Perk. Nets win, but obviously it's been a bumpy ride, to say the least, so far this season. And so do you think the Nets will miss the playoffs? I know it's a little early, but what do you think?
Do I think they will miss the playoffs? Yes. And look, anybody that have common sense, not a smart individual, just common sense. You don't even have to be a basketball fan to think and know what you're seeing right now, that this Nets team is not that good. They're not better than a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference. And I could go down the list, but here it is, right? They're just trying to get through the season. We just heard Kevin Durant call out the front office basically about the guys that he are on the floor with right now. And I get it. They won one game, and it was a nice win last night in Portland. And Ben Simmons finally showed up and played. But I'm not about to applaud a fish for swimming, okay? He finally showed up and produced for the money that he's getting paid. But I'm not banking on the Nets making the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Not this year. They'll be lucky to make the play-in tournament.
Well, you don't have to be so harsh. I mean, just because we might disagree with you doesn't mean that we lack common sense. You understand? Because damn it, I got the Nets going to the playoffs, okay? That's what I got. And I'm not jumping off that bandwagon just yet. I'm not doing that. First of all, it was a miracle. I must confess, it was a miracle to see Ben Simmons show up and play the way that he played last night. I was like, thank God. I was about ready to give up. I was like, thank God. I mean, my Lord have mercy. He actually took shots. He made all 6 of his shots. He made 3 or 4 free throws. I almost had a heart attack watching this. I couldn't believe it. I was like, well, okay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like the fact that KD missed another free throw in the Keisha moment, but damn it, he's KD. That happens. I just look at this team and then I scour the Eastern Conference, KD. And we got to remember, Kyrie Irving on the floor with them. He's due to come back. Where's Jacques Vaughn coaching? KD and them been talking about how he's calling good plays, and he's really coaching his tail off or whatever. We see a guy that has been starving for an opportunity to be a head coach in this league, wants it really, really bad, has been an assistant coach in a multitude of places, KP. So when I look at it from that perspective, I expect an upgrade with the coaching. I expect an upgrade in the level of production in terms of what dudes are doing. I saw them give up 153 damn points to the Sacramento Kings, who, by the way, Mike Brown's doing a hell of a job thus far. Let's give him some love for a second. They've won like 5 or 6 straight. They're above 500. We'll see what they do on their upcoming road trip in terms of their validity, what they do on the road. But Mike Brown is doing a hell of a job in Sacramento, and De'Aaron Fox is playing like an all-star. But back to these Nets, I'm just of the mindset, when I scour the Eastern Conference, again, Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Philly, Atlanta, I think the Brooklyn Nets can find themselves in the middle of the pack there. I can see a playoff berth. You're damn right I'm going with them making the playoffs. Matter of fact, I'm willing to guarantee you they make the playoffs.
Oh.
You know what this is right now? This is not about the Brooklyn Nets and the rest of the Eastern Conference. This is about the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks. This is about your personal beef that you have against the New York Knicks. And this is why you're riding so hard with the Brooklyn Nets, because I don't get it. I don't get it, Stephen A. It's right in front of your face. Like, it's right there. Like, okay, so we'll sit up here, we're watching. We have seen the whole drama, everything that's been surrounding the Brooklyn Nets since the start of the season. We have seen reports that have come out that guys have questioned Ben Simmons and his love for the game of basketball.
Absolutely.
We just heard, again, Kevin Durant just called out everybody basically on their roster and said, no disrespect, but how do you expect me to win games with some of the players that I'm playing with? And I don't expect Royce O'Neal to go have a triple-double every single night and say, and look, we know Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving are both spectacular players, but here's another thing I'm concerned about. When Kyrie Irving do come back, you know what's going to happen before everything could just become about basketball. There's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of media. Guys that are not involved are going to have to ask about answer questions about Kyrie return, and Kyrie is going to have to buy into the system again.
Well, listen, let me say this to you. If I was Kyrie Irving, I wouldn't even do interviews when he comes back this weekend. I'd wait a couple of days before I did any interviews because we know what they're going to ask him about, and it's not going to be basketball. Secondly, and more importantly, people better be careful about what they're asking for, because even though what he did, what he alluded to, he clearly didn't do his homework or made a huge mistake in what link he elected to attach to his Twitter account. At the end of the day, you got a whole bunch of people standing up and saying, excuse me, some of these demands that were placed upon him is a bit excessive. Just for your edification, KP, with everything that's happened with him and Kanye and all of this other stuff, and then ultimately Dave Chappelle with his opening monologue, I am interviewing the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League next week on my podcast, No Mercy. So stay tuned for that one. But I say all of that to say this to you. At the end of the day, Kyrie Irving's got to get on the basketball court because his future is in grave jeopardy from the standpoint that he's just too much of a distraction. He's not played more than 60 games in a season in 7 of his 11 complete seasons in the National Basketball Association. And you've got far too many executives that think he ain't worth the headache. The only way to offset that and to remind them of who you are and what you can bring to the table is to step on the basketball court. And I'm of the mindset that when I think about that and Jacques Vaughn, even though it would have been preferable that Ime Udoka was the head coach, but Kyrie messed that up, okay, because his stuff happened, and then bringing Ime Udoka would have been too much for the franchise to deal with. Now you got the situation for what it is. But when you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, I'm just saying, you can't tell me that KD and Kyrie together on the basketball court can't make the damn playoffs. I refuse to believe that under any circumstances. I just don't see that happen.
I absolutely agree with you. That's definitely
because
the conversation
you're old,
to be had.
Because you're old and you're stuck in your ways.
No.
That's what
Well, I
they
ain't
say
that
about
old.
old people. They
No.
stuck in